One.
Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Viva Ndakara. It's been a while, but I come bearing good news. From the title of this video, you can already tell that it's about job opportunities, part-time job opportunities for students. And my favorite is hospitality agencies. I recommend this anytime, any day, because I feel like they're the easiest jobs to get from my experience. Generally, agencies, they don't demand as much compared to having to work in a specific like restaurant or stuff like that. But anyway, let's get into it. I'm jumping ahead of myself. So when I say hospitality, right, part-time job opportunities in the hospitality sector, I mean, this is the season. A lot of people are coming to school in the summer or in January, and everybody's looking for jobs. Everybody's looking to work. So what is the easiest and, to be honest, best paying from my experience, right? The couple of jobs that I personally had applied to. God knows one of the hardest things for me when I came to the UK was finding a job, like looking for part-time jobs, applying, even in schools, because I know that people say apply to jobs in your school. They usually actually have part-time jobs, on occasion, things that they need people to do. It's not sustainable, right? But generally, even with agency jobs, why a lot of people don't want it is because it's ad hoc roles. It's only when there is a need for you. It's not steady. So there may be something happening this week, there may be a concert, there may be a show, there may be a wedding, but next week nothing might happen. So that's why people would prefer something more stable, which is recommended. But at the end of the day, if you want something more immediate, because I think this is like a faster option, and it's just good to also still have it like as a backup plan, so whenever you do need the jobs, you can have them. When I say hospitality, I basically mean bartending, waiting staff, kitchen assistants, roles in that area. So you are basically thinking of events, of concerts, of football matches, of schools, or any organization where they need catering staff, basically. And there are some very, very popular agencies that I know. So I schooled in Nottingham, I lived in Beeston, I schooled in Nottingham, but I did apply to jobs in different areas, even places that are close to Nottingham, which I recommend. Don't just stay where you are. Like if there are jobs in Derby, because Derby isn't far from Nottingham, and it wasn't far from Beeston, because I lived in Beeston, it was very close, it was just one bus. So just always calculate, right? What's the distance? Can I commute? Does the money make sense? Does the transport make sense? When you weigh your options, do you understand? Instead of just saying no, it's better to have something like a bird in hand, basically. So you are looking at jobs in places like Leicester, like Sheffield, like Derby. If you are ever able to get jobs in those areas, don't say no to it. So I think that's one tip. Don't say no to jobs in places that are around you, because people travel a lot in this country. Like, it might not be long term, but if you're looking for something immediate, take advantage of that. Apply to jobs in different areas. And also, don't communicate like you are not available. One thing they always ask during interviews, like general interview tips, they will say, do you have any holidays booked? Is there any day you are off? Is there any day you cannot work? As much as it is within your power, and realistically, just don't give the idea that, oh, you are not fully available for that job, because they'll most probably consider and prioritize somebody else. Now, another thing is that in applying to jobs, right, my favorite thing about these hospitality agencies is they don't stress. I know the places that I traveled to have interviews. There's this pharmacy assistant role in Boots that I went for. In fact, everything was going smoothly. To today, I don't know what I said that made them not give me the job. Maybe because I wasn't available every day. Because to me, that interview went smoothly. So I had interviews, I made applications. Indeed was my friend. By the way, download Indeed. Indeed is the place to find. Indeed is the most popular job app in the UK. So download Indeed. I'm just saying the tips as it dropped in my head. 90% of all the agencies that I will be listing here, I did work with them. Even if it's one shift, at least once, I did work with them. And I'll be leaving a list of all the links to take you to the websites for these agencies in the description, so you should stick around and check that out. Anyway, all these jobs, I did not go anywhere for interview. That's the thing. In fact, I can count the number of agencies that did interview me. The first 2 agencies that I worked with, if I'm correct, I didn't have any interview. In fact, I didn't make any formal application. I don't even know how it just happened. They just needed people, and it was like, jump in now. And from there, I became their staff. One was practically almost dead because I worked only like 2 jobs with them, but the other one was very busy and they worked a lot of weddings. So I can count the number of interviews that I had even working with this. So it didn't even stress me compared to the one that I was traveling and I was trying to make it for interview, preparing, and I was showing up and they didn't even call me back. But for all these agencies, once you just submit your CV, so the trick is just doing your CV. Some of them don't even require CV, but what is key, right, even for jobs generally, is experience. They always want to see experience and they look out for keywords. So as much as possible, not just putting the experience that they want on the CV, but also using the job description that they have listed, to using keywords, right? You can fine tune it. If you've created your CV and you have your experience and you have everything, I think it will be good to also copy what they have pasted in the job description or roles and responsibilities, or what is expected, right? And try to make what you have written as your experience using the keywords from there to like fine tune your CV so that you apply to the jobs. But yeah, that's just a general tip. But for these agencies, they are not even stressful. They just need to know that you can do the job, and that's it. And they're always looking for people. So it's low risk. It's very stressless in my opinion. So and you don't lose anything. Just make all the applications and all that, and it will be good. And I think it's very interesting. I still miss a lot of the jobs that I used to do. I used to work in stadiums. I've worked in Sheffield Stadium. I've worked in Derby Stadium. I've worked in Nottingham Stadium. I'd worked in I never worked in Leicester Stadium, but I'd worked at concerts. I knew what the inside of a stadium looks like and what the behind the scenes of running. There was a time I even saw the bus that brings some of the players in Sheffield. I don't know, I just found it interesting. Just say, you're right, it was in cafe. I'm so unserious. But yeah, those are the things that I just found them interesting, and it was chill, it was soft. There are times where you go to cities that you haven't been to before, and sometimes there's some of them, if they're taking you somewhere that is outskirts or somewhere that they know is not easily commutable, there will be transport. You see it's transport available or not. And sometimes it also depends on how much they need people for this job or to fill up, right? So the thing with agencies is that they are supplying staff to people that need it. So it could be that their original staff members are on leave and they need somebody to fill in for that moment, or the agency that typically would even supply staff for that particular job does not have enough people, so just different things. And another thing with agency roles and hospitality is that there are moments where there's high demand, or that there are many events, because like I said, it's not every time that there is a job or that there is a shift for you. So times like summer, people are outside, different events are happening, or Christmas, different things are happening. So there are festive seasons where it booms a lot, but it's not always there's not always shift. It's not every time that there's opportunities, and it also depends on the agency and the job description or the job role for that particular agency. Now, some of them require you to have a DBS. If you were working, say, in a hospital, if you were going to be a catering staff for a hospital, anywhere that you're working with children, with high risk individuals, I don't know if that's what I'll write the correct thing when I'm editing the video. But if you are going to work with any category, any people in such category, they require to have DBS, basically to show that you don't have a criminal record and you are safe and the people that are around you are safe as well. But not every job requires you to have a DBS. Now, there's this job I also did. It's called brand ambassador. Now, that's even one of the funniest experiences that I've had in this UK, because I'd never gone for a shift where I did not know what was expected of me. So the title of the job role, or the job title, is brand ambassador. And I'm like, okay, what will I be doing here? And then they send you, so before I explain the job, I'm just going to say what it was like. They just sent me things to read. Then they told me to take a test to be sure that I understand what I read. And then in my head, I'm just like, okay, even if I don't get it, when I show up tomorrow, I will see other people. We'll be fine. We'll know what we are doing, ladies and gentlemen. I showed up. I showed up at the supermarket. Lo and behold, it was only me. So you can imagine my shock. Okay, so not only do I not know what I'm doing here, I'm the only person that is going to be here. So I needed to know what I was winging it like mad. I did not know. It was so funny because I showed up and I did not know what I was supposed to do at that job. So basically, this is the role, and this is the highest paying part-time job that I ever did. They paid far above minimum wage. Let's say like 5, 6, 7 pounds above minimum wage. And if you travel, they will cover your travel allowance, but not more than 10 pounds anyway. So if you are going to even go outside of your city for the job, basically, you know that they're paying you something extra for your transport, and it was soft. So this is the job. Basically, I don't know if you've ever been to any supermarket or store, and then there are things for you to taste. So it's a marketing strategy. There's a new brand in town, or this brand is introducing a new product, and they want more people to patronize or to know that such a thing exists. They will have tasters. So they will set it up, arrange the products for people to walk in and test in for free. And so my job was basically to make sure that everything is arranged. That's a fire alarm, and I think it's going to enter the video. So my job was to make sure that the whatever it is that we are sampling, yes, that's the word, sampling, we call them samples. So whatever it is that we're sampling is arranged. So I've done 3 different products. There was a day there was a new drink in that they were introducing, new flavors of the drink. There was a day I did fruits, a particular brand of fruit. So this particular brand had strawberries, it had raspberries, and it had strawberries, raspberries, one other berry, blueberries, yes. And then there was a day I did bread. They don't call it bread, they call it sourdough something, whatever. And then we're doing pairing with avocado. So different products, basically. What you just do is arrange it. You know how it's supposed to look. So they show you a picture. This is what your table stand should look like. This is how the product should look. This is how you should arrange it. So you arrange it, make sure there's serviettes, there's forks, there's whatever for people to come in and taste. So you just smile, engage them, speak to them. Have you tried this before? They try it, and then you're supposed to get responses, and you're supposed to fill that in. So just ask them questions like, oh, okay, what did you like about this? Was it the color? Was it the taste? Was it the packaging? What, would you be getting it? Because we had people that would say, oh, they are going to get this product. Oh, I like this, I'm going to get it. What aisle is it? Let me shop, the product. And then you have people that you would also ask them as well, on a scale of 0 to 10, how likely are you to recommend this product? So basically, that was my job. Just stand, just smile, just refill when necessary, engage people, make sure that they're having a product. So I'm just like, and this is what you're paying me for? I think it was a very interesting job. It was honestly interesting. It is interesting. And it had 1 hour break. Soft work, to be honest, in my opinion. It was really chilled. And, that's all that you have to do. Making sure that people are seeing the product, tasting products, and enjoying it. And you're just refilling the stuff. Of course, from the way I'm speaking, you can tell that after several attempts, I knew what I was supposed to do at the job. But it's so interesting that on the first day that I showed up there, I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. I was just winging it. I'll look at the picture, look at the video, and then of course you can ask questions. But yeah, you can do it. That's to show you that if you can take a job like that, I don't know what you're supposed to do on the first day, you get better at it. So don't stress yourself too much. What else did I want to say? So yeah, basically, so advantages of hospitality job in summary, or hospitality agency roles in summary, is that there are ad hoc roles, which is a plus and a minus, because on one hand, you want the flexibility. On another hand, you want the stability and the consistency. So I don't know if it's a pro or a con, well, whichever one. Second thing is interesting. At least it was interesting for me, and I liked it. The third thing is I think it pays the most, to be honest. Stadiums, generally, I was going to say stadiums pay the most money, but it's not every stadium and every agency, because there are times where a particular stadium has like 3 different agencies supplying them staff for that event, right? I've gone to Nottingham Stadium as an ARC staff, and I've seen people who are staff from Mint people, Indeed Flex, and we're not paid the same thing. So it also depends, but I think that they pay the most. Delaware as a football staffing agency paid me the most for football stadiums, yeah. And then this sampling job paid me the most ever for all the part-time jobs I did together. But yeah, so I think you like it. I think it's beneficial to just have that in mind and just start applying as soon as possible. And like I said, I'm going to put the links to give you a head start. Let me know what you think. Let me know when you land your first job or your first shift, and what you love. If you have been in the UK and you've worked with any of these agencies, let me know what you love as well. Thank you for watching. Bye. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Okay, bye.